Hello, my name is Kazuhiro Ueno and I am an illustrator. This time, I would like to draw Tyrannosaurus, the dinosaur that inspired me to start drawing while thinking about its greatness. Tyrannosaurus is a type of dinosaur whose existence has been suggested by fossils excavated from the North American continent, and it's thought to have lived at the end of the so-called Cretaceous period, approximately 72.7 million to 65 million years ago, based on the age of strata found in the area. It is often regarded as a representative of carnivorous dinosaurs because it serves as a species in terms of its sharp fangs, large gaping mouth, and skeleton that supported a strong bite, which are the characteristics of carnivorous dinosaurs. In contrast, the head, two-fingered paws are disproportionately small for the size of the dinosaur. The entire body skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus does not deviate that much from the typical vertebrate skeleton. It consists of an S-shaped neck starting from the skull, a straight spine extending to the tail, ribs supporting the internal organs, and fore and hind legs growing from the shoulder blades and pelvis respectively. The details are distinctive, and the shape of the pelvis unique to theropods is a particular point to note in depicting the characteristic waist of the species. The differences in foot structure between humans and dinosaurs are also important to note. Dinosaurs have a normal posture of standing on tiptoes, as we humans call it, with knees and heels positioned accordingly. The muscularity of Tyrannosaurus has also been predicted based on other extant animals, but it is difficult to accurately depict this prehistoric species, so it would not be too much of a problem to draw this point visually. The same is true for the color scheme of the skin, and one of the charms of drawing Tyrannosaurus is that each animal part be filled with romance. Let us now describe this huge tyrant, including the situation. At first, we will focus on the face, which is the most distinctive feature of the Tyrannosaurus. To create a composition that shows us its fangs at the same time, a situation in which it barks at us will be appropriate. If this is the case, we need a motive for such a threat, so we will have the prey at its feet and include the legs that support this huge body in the composition. In order to depict these two elements to a greater extent, I dare to use a composition that does not show the tail. When drawing an object with the complex shapes at an angle, it is important to accurately grasp the shape of the object to be drawn, and to accurately distinguish the parts that are visible from the angle from the parts that are hidden from view. In this case, the edge of the mouth was shown here to capture the shape of this dinosaur's face more effectively. Since this illustration focuses on the shape of this Tyrannosaurus, I will draw it in black and white. I want to create a composition in which the Tyrannosaurus is illuminated by strong light from one direction, and the light and shadows are concrete. So I will draw the image of lightning in a heavy rainstorm, which can be such a situation in nature. First, I drew the entire image of Tyrannosaurus. The blank space has been divided into two large areas, and we will express the darkness of the night by filling in the far side with black. The outline of the shadow side is added with a white pen to make the outline clear. Next, draw the legs. Carefully draw the direction of the crease in accordance with the direction of the bend. When drawing the gradation of the shadow, instead of gradually increasing the density of the black lines, a white line can be used to create a gradation in the area filled with the positional skull. This is less time-consuming and more beautiful. The legs are made more muscular to emphasize the strength of this dinosaur. Paint in the water droplets running down the body surface and the raindrops. To avoid disturbing the raindrops on the body, we also drew raindrops on the body part and added more prey under the legs and the body surface of the Tyrannosaurus to complete the drawing. Next, let's express this dinosaur by using color. Since Tyrannosaurus is a carnivore, we can consider him not only the king of the dinosaur age, but also a hunter who deceives the eyes of herbivores. The presence of a giant reaper, clad in a pattern that blends in with the ferns that dominated the forest all the time, and whose presence is hinted at only by his white, flickering eyes and teeth, is as terrifying to us as it is to the tyrant. With this concept in mind, let us once again depict Tyrannosaurus. Taking a cue from the existing woody fern, the lizard's heels, we color the Tyrannosaurus with brightly colored polka dots that mimic the pattern of the trunk on the base composed of the colors of the trunk and leaves of the tree. Since the path of the beast is such that his huge body has to scramble, the shape of his mimetic beast of prey is hinted at by the way its back receives sunlight through the trees caused by the foliage of the tree ferns that grow at both ends. The rough sketch is completed with the thick growth of the tree ferns in front of and the other side of the Tyrannosaurus. First, I drew Tyrannosaurus, the main character of this picture. In this illustration, I want to emphasize that it is a cunning reptile rather than the king of dinosaurs, so I will emphasize this by the scales on its lips, the scale pattern on its body, and the osteoderms lining its back. In addition, I will hang large fleshy folds of meat like a chicken. Next is a tree fern in the foreground. The young rounded leaves, which are the charmed ferns, are painted in the foreground before they unfold. Before coloring, check to see how much these ferns will obscure the main subject of the painting by reflecting an appropriate color on them. I painted the ferns too much so that the Tyrannosaurus was hidden more than necessary. Once the ferns have been colored, we can begin to create the camouflage pattern that the Tyrannosaurus will wear based on the colors used here. The white of the teeth, the muscular pink of the mouth and tongue, and the deep red of the osteoderms are used to make the silhouette of the beast visible to the eyes. After adding the eyelet pattern of the fern trunk, I painted the sunbeams on the back of the animal. Although I drew some of the shadows in the line drawing, adding translucent shadows seems to enhance the three-dimensionality of the image. To avoid diminishing the presence of the Tyrannosaurus, I only colored in the forest in the background and added white eyes to emphasize the eyes. It is difficult for us to know exactly what kind of creature Tyrannosaurus was. All we have are fossils. That is why we are allowed to imagine and paint whatever we want. It is a lot of fun to paint with these motifs. I recommend it.